I'm a psychologist and I'm going to share some tips with you on how you can hack your dopamine to maintain motivation, consistency, and productivity. First thing is to break big tasks into smaller steps. Dopamine's released when you complete a task. So by breaking big tasks down into smaller tasks, you'll get way more hits of dopamine, and it means that you'll get positive reinforcement for keeping on going. This will help maintain your consistency and your motivation for the bigger overall task. Next, create visual progress. So this means creating something where you can literally see what you have done. So this could be as simple as writing down a list of tasks that you want to achieve that day or that week or whatever, and then physically ticking them off. This not only gives you the dopamine hit from completing the task, but it means that you also get to see where you've come from and what you've achieved. For me, I use either a handwritten to-do list, or I also have an online project manager that I use, and I can tick the tasks off there and go into the archive and see all the tasks that I've achieved, and it makes me feel so good, especially when I feel like I've made no progress. The next thing you can do to hack your dopamine is to reward yourself every time that you complete a task. It doesn't have to be anything big. It could just be getting up, going and taking a little break, maybe going and making a cup of tea. Just make sure there's acknowledgement when you complete something so that you get some kind of reward, which will give positive reinforcement for you to keep doing that. If you've got a task which you just really don't enjoy or you find really mundane, pair it with something that you do like. So that could mean listening to music that you enjoy while doing some admin work, or it could even be only allowing yourself something like your favorite drink while you do a dreaded task. That way you're getting a little bit of dopamine while you're doing the less enjoyable task. Next up, try and time your tasks or your work for your natural dopamine peaks. So your dopamine levels naturally fluctuate throughout the day. For most people, you've got a high level of dopamine kind of mid to late morning, early afternoon, and this is when you should focus on your more challenging tasks because it's when you're more alert. Leave your more mundane or repetitive tasks for early morning or late afternoon. Now, depending on your job, you could potentially gamify your work. So for example, you could set yourself a challenge, like how many emails can I send in 20 minutes? Just make sure if you do that one, you don't compromise on quality. Another tip is to minimize multitasking. When you focus on one task fully and completely, it means that when you actually complete that task, you'll feel a lot more satisfied compared to if you're working on 5 things at once, you complete this other task, but then you're still going with another task or something. The dopamine reward won't really come until you complete all of them. So focus on one to get that dopamine hit once you've actually fully completed the task. And lastly, practice mindful dopamine boosts. So that basically just means doing some healthy habits. So for example, if you go for a walk in the morning, it will naturally boost your dopamine and your baseline of dopamine will be greater over the course of the day. And really pay attention on those days where you really get in the zone or you hyper-focus or something. Make sure that you're still taking the time to take breaks, to eat healthy, go for a walk, rest your brain. I guarantee that when you come back, your cognitive function will be so much better compared to if you didn't do that. If you want more hacks for boosting dopamine or any other brain boosting chemicals, let me know.